Hello and welcome to this second tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to demonstrate how to execute a JavaScript function inside an HTML document, specifically one that will execute a play pause video function using HTML buttons. So here we have our HTML file at the moment, linked to the relevant CSS sheet, which is right here. And in the interest of saving time, I'm going to paste in the HTML elements right now so that we can then focus on the JavaScript elements and functions here better, in more detail. So here we have our buttons here, the opening tag here with the onClick function, or onClick instruction with the function inside quotation marks here. It's very important to remember to put the function inside quotation marks. This function doesn't exist yet, but it will do in a while. What this is basically instructing is that when we click this button, it will carry out this function. And assuming by the names of the button we have play, pause, enlarge, default, we want it to do what people assume that those words mean. So now we're going to start the script. So we're going to start with the opening tag. I quite like it when the beginning tags are at the side of the screen there, and we're going to have closing tag there. Now this isn't very professional, but I have the JavaScript on a separate file here. It's quite difficult to remember it all together, but at the moment it's not underlined, and I'm going to just paste the first one in, and then we will go through the second one in more detail, and then we'll paste the rest of them in, and I will explain what they do. So the first one, now they have changed color, and they take on different meanings. So we have var for variable. So the variable, we've declared a variable called video, in which it's taking an ID. This is where the ID comes into play. They are essential, and it is something that I often forget. I forget to ID the actual video itself in the HTML. You need it to be ID'd so that when you call JavaScript, it's taking the ID'd video and using the functions on it with these. It all goes in some kind of nice circular motion, I like to think of it, but it took me a very long time just to realize that I needed to ID videos inside HTML. But here we have our play video function. It's not returning any variables, so we don't need to put anything in the brackets here. And well, the basic instruction is video.play. That essentially just means that the video will play when this button is pressed, or when this function is called, rather. One important thing to remember is that it is a capital V for video. The play function, as it plays the video, as the instruction is video.play, we're going to assume that is the play vid function, which is right here, where the play button is placed. And now we're going to create a new function. You always have to declare the name of it beforehand, so we're going to have function pause vid. Initially, where I was going wrong with this was that I had the actual instructions as vid.pause, but that isn't the correct syntax. It's a capital V and video dot pause. If I can spell it correctly, there we go. And don't forget the semicolons at the end. And now for the last two, we're going to play about with what you can do on YouTube when you can enlarge a video and reduce it to its normal screen. It's not going to be as stylistic as that, because I don't have the extensive experience that people working for Google and YouTube have. But we're going to have a basic width enlarge enough for the enlarge function. So I'm just going to copy and paste that into the script here. Copy the web function there. So there we go. That will increase the width to 560. Meaning that the video will spread out. It will increase the width when that button is pressed. So the function is there, and it's called up here on this button. These buttons will go side by side. Now we have that function there. So the last function, we want to bring it back to its default size. So we will call that, well, as you probably read already, we're going to call it nor screen. This for like normal screen. It's a good idea to keep the function names easy to remember, but also I find it quite easy to have capital letters for each of the words, as you can see here, element by ID, they tend to capitalize their words. So capitalizing the functions helps me to remember, well, it helps to cement some of the syntax. That is, some of the syntax will have capital letters and such. So now we're going to add video.width. And so when this button is called, it will bring it back to its original width, which, as we can see up here, is 200. So that will bring the video back to its original width. Sort of a much more cruder way of what YouTube does. Okay, so there we have that. Just going to save that now. And hopefully, if we run it, hopefully this will work. Yes, there we go. An example of JavaScript. Now here comes the key. Is the video going to play? Yes, it is, and that's very good. So we've got a play button there. We have a pause button. We can enlarge it. Yeah, as I said, quite crude. We've got the title there and the header there, but because this video isn't in the best of quality, because my camera is not brilliant, we're going to put it back to its default screen. And then we have it. That's the video there. As again, we need to declare the variable first. We declare it as video. Video equals get the element from the document, it being this HTML document, and then put that in brackets. And then the video needs to be in quotation marks in here, and just use the same as the ID from up here. So that's both the JavaScript function can read from the HTML, bring it forth to here, and then the function goes up to the button here. Think of it like that. It's sort of this give and take relationship between the JavaScript and the HTML. One thing I do like about script is that even if the function hasn't been, even if the script element hasn't been ended, you can usually tell by the color of the screen on Notepad++. It's quite good by that. The script color tends to be a little bit darker, or it is a little bit darker than the white. So there we have it. Declare the functions up here, put them in, don't forget to put them inside curly brackets. The semicolon goes at the end of the function, not when you're declaring the function. And that's that. Thank you very much for watching.